Before the greatest empires of history raised their armies, one prophet ruled a kingdom no ruler after him would ever possess. His soldiers did not come from one species. The wind carried his command. Birds delivered information. Jinn built structures beneath his authority. Yet the most powerful moment in his story arrived after he had died. Prophet Sulayman, peace be upon him, inherited knowledge and leadership from his father, Prophet Dawood, but his kingdom was not built on wealth alone. He asked Allah for a dominion that would belong to no one after him, and he was given abilities that transformed the natural world around his mission. His first extraordinary gift was understanding communication that ordinary people could not understand. Suleiman knew the speech of birds. A bird in his army was not decoration. It could carry information, recognize distant events, and return with a report. He also understood the warning of an ant. As his enormous army approached a valley, one ant warned the others to enter their homes before they were unknowingly crushed. The most powerful ruler of his age heard one of the smallest creatures in his kingdom. He did not respond with arrogance. He smiled at its words and turned to Allah with gratitude. His power had not made the ant invisible to him. It had made him more conscious of responsibility. Then came an army unlike any army assembled by a human king. Humans, jinn, and birds were gathered in organized ranks. Each group had its place. This was not a wild crowd of supernatural creatures. It was a disciplined force controlled by a prophet and used within the authority Allah had granted him. During one inspection, Suleiman noticed that the hoopoe was missing. The absence of one small bird did not escape the ruler of this enormous kingdom. When the bird returned, it carried news from a distant land ruled by a woman with a magnificent throne. Her people possessed power and wealth, but they bowed to the sun instead of worshipping Allah. Suleiman did not begin with an invasion. He sent a letter. The message called the queen and her people away from pride and toward submission to Allah. When valuable gifts arrived, Suleiman refused to allow wealth to replace truth. What Allah had given him was greater than the treasure placed before him. Before the queen reached his court, Suleiman asked who could bring her throne. A powerful jinn offered to bring it before Suleiman rose from his place. But someone who possessed knowledge offered something even faster. The throne appeared before Suleiman in the blink of an eye. Suleiman did not claim that the achievement proved his own greatness. He recognized it as a test. Would he remain grateful or become ungrateful? Even when impossible power appeared in front of him, the center of the story remained gratitude. The queen entered a palace with a floor so clear that she mistook it for water and uncovered her legs to cross it. She was told that it was a smooth surface made from glass. The building displayed unmatched craftsmanship, but its purpose was not empty entertainment. It broke the illusion that her worldly kingdom represented the highest power. She finally recognized her mistake and submitted with Suleiman to Allah, Lord of all worlds. Then there was the wind. For Suleiman, the wind was not an obstacle. It was placed under his command and carried him according to his direction. Its morning journey covered the distance normally traveled in a month, and its evening journey covered another month. Routes that exhausted caravans could be crossed with a force no human ruler could manufacture. His control also extended over workers from among the jinn. They built elevated structures, large basins, and enormous fixed cauldrons. Others dived beneath the water and performed work beyond normal human ability. Rebellious devils could be restrained in chains. A spring of molten copper was made to flow for him, as Allah tells us in Surah Saba, giving his workers material for construction, on a scale that matched his extraordinary rule. But none of these powers made Suleiman independent of Allah. They were gifts, responsibilities, and tests. The wind moved because Allah subjected it. The jinn worked by Allah's permission. The knowledge he possessed was knowledge Allah had taught him. And then the ruler of humans, birds, and jinn died. Suleiman remained leaning upon his staff while the jinn continued their exhausting work. They believed he was still watching them. Time passed until a small creature of the earth ate through the staff. His body fell, and the truth became impossible to hide. The jinn had not known that Suleiman was dead. If they truly possessed knowledge of the unseen, they would not have continued working while their ruler stood lifeless before them. The final scene destroyed one of the greatest myths surrounding supernatural beings. The jinn could perform remarkable labor, but they did not possess the unseen knowledge that belongs to Allah. Suleiman's kingdom combined power that no king could recreate. Knowledge, leadership, wind, birds, humans, jinn, construction, travel, and wealth. Yet his story never teaches you to worship power. It teaches you what power should produce, gratitude when something extraordinary arrives, justice when even an ant may be harmed, attention when one small soldier is missing, firmness when wealth is offered in place of truth, humility when a miracle appears in front of you. The greatest power Suleiman displayed was not commanding the wind. It was remaining a servant of Allah while the world moved at his command. Pause 3 seconds. If you liked our video, please subscribe and support our work on Buy Me a Coffee. Thanks.